its arms around Asphage's body. He was bound by the creature, but kept biting and swallowing chunks of its hands. The Little stretched its arms up and raised him high into the air. It seemed like it was about to throw him into another arena. But thankfully, it stretched its limbs up far enough that a skeletal torso with a beating blackened heart within became exposed. Alcea shot forward and leapt right at it. She tackled against its chest and held onto it, making the beast stumble. She instantly felt its clay starting to pour back down to cover itself, but before it could, she punched her fist right through its ribs, grabbed its heart, and tore it out. Without another sound, the creature's body flopped to the ground, spilling its clay across the forest and letting Asphage fall back down. Alcea looked up at the hologram scoreboard floating in the sky. Her score jumped up to 2. It was nice to get some points, but she'd hoped that would have been worth 3. Plus, she felt she should have more points still. Alcea wasn't about to show Ludum that she was annoyed, but then, an unexpected ally spoke up for her. The largest of the Archons, Kaijagrex, snarled.
Hey, why didn't she get points for that centipede thing?
Ludum replied, still teeming with fury. She did not kill it. My little knot stomped it to death. Psychoparadolic chuckled.
Oh, come on. She lured that thing over to it to kill it, and you know it. Even stole a kill from that Shinobu kid. That's exactly the kind of treachery you live for, ain't it, Ludum?
Alcea is not getting points for that kill. My decision, in my realm, in my death arena, is final. Psycho shook his head.
Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and veto that decision.
One of his tendrils stretched past Ludum's other side and tapped something on her control platform. Alcea's score jumped up from 2 to 4. Ludum's band stretched out of her back and raised her into the air, to be taller than Psycho. How dare you think you have any control over how my games play out, you outdated TV-headed freak!
Temper, headmistress. What kind of example are you setting for your kids here?
Psycho chuckled. Alcea saw an opportunity to irk Ludum further and yelled up. Yeah, wow, you get angry really easily, Eloise. You know, someone like Evangeline could really help you with that. She's way smarter and more mature than you are. The sound that came out of Ludum next was somewhere between a shriek and a kettle boiling over. Alcea laughed again and regrouped with Kiko. They could both hear the cackling of more littles in the woods around them, but at least Asphage was now preoccupied. He was ravenously devouring the fallen clay from the little. Alcea called over. Hey, Asphage, if we leave you with this food, will you stop coming after us Mavericks? Food, so much food. Kiko chuckled. I think we can take that as a yes. Maybe now we should find a way to get to one of the other arenas. If we can regroup with more of the Mavericks, maybe we can coordinate getting each of us to 27 points at the same time so we can all face the final boss together. Alcea nodded. Right, we just have to find the secret pathway to the next arena over. There was suddenly a massive crashing sound. Alcea and Kiko whipped around to see Kohaku had gotten onto the back of the Little Knot and had ridden it through a wall. A huge hole had been smashed through it, leading into the next arena. Kiko shrugged. Found it? They both laughed and ran towards the opening, doing their best to trust that their friends were faring just as well in this competition so far. Alcea couldn't help feeling a bit giddy at how easily she'd outraged Ludum. Ludum may technically have been a very physically powerful person, but seeing how a little laughter had gotten so far under her skin made Alcea see Eloise as little more than an angry, petty woman. It wasn't even worth Alcea's energy to hate her, and knowing that felt really good. If you enjoyed this and you haven't seen the whole Trismegistus Academy series, you might want to go back to the beginning. I've got a playlist that you can watch in order. Or if you just want some more monsters, maybe check out my last episode of Spider-Man characters turned into fantasy beasts. But besides that, that's all for today, except of course for ending this video on some kind of positive or inspiring note. And the thought I want to leave people with is a quote I read this week from Tony Robbins, who said, "Information does not change your life. Decisions change your life. Winners take imperfect action while losers are still perfecting the plan. Action is the most important key to success." I don't love calling anyone losers, but I think the message is still good. Start taking action towards your goals sooner rather than later and learn well in the process of taking action, because ultimately experience from taking action will provide you with the best information. I hope that's inspiring. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next episode on Monday.
Reefside or poolside? Choose both in tropical North Queensland with Jetstar's direct flights to Cairns from $219. Book your tropical holiday feeling at jetstar.com.
Bring home new season style with fresh bargains from the warehouse. Update your dinnerware from just $4, brighten your bedroom from only $16, and find new wardrobe favourites from just $20. Refresh your season in style at the warehouse, where everyone gets a bargain.
Roblox is a place where we filter all the text and the voice, where we monitor for critical harms, where there's no image sharing or any of the things that might happen from that.
I want to start off by saying that we all want to keep Roblox safe. We share this view, and we know that there's members of our community who feel strongly about that too. And you know what? We welcome this as part of the dialogue about how to keep Roblox safer.
I want to highlight we have always had safety as one of our top priorities, and we're not waiting for the law or legislation. We've innovated with age estimation on our own because we want to keep people on our platform.
This whole situation is kind of crazy.
Everybody go donate to this boy Schlep.
This is probably the worst decision this company has ever made.
Hashtag free Schlep on God.
Yeah, they actually need Schlep.
I'm wishing Schlep the best.
Roblox, you need to do something.
There's got to be something done. Nobody at Roblox listens to us. I'm frustrated, man. I'm frustrated.
Why should we support a platform that is taking steps to prevent predators from getting caught?
Roblox has just lost $12 billion in market value following their response to their cease and desist letter against me. Just for context, I'm someone who's gotten 6 predators within their community arrested in real life. That loss, though, isn't on me. It's a direct result of Roblox's own response to its child safety crisis. Instead of addressing the real issues, Roblox has doubled, tripled, even quadrupled down. They've put out statements after statements painting me and my team as reckless vigilantes while claiming that their platform is safe, when it absolutely is not. People are just seeing through this, and that's why a huge movement has started online called Free Schlep. It's been trending everywhere. Multiple members of Congress have now called out the company's child abuse problem, and the Attorney General of Louisiana has filed a giant lawsuit against the company for, and I quote, prioritizing user growth, revenue, and profits over child safety. The day after the Attorney General's lawsuit was filed, Roblox's market value dropped by $12 billion. In response, the company scrambled to roll out new policies targeting the very not safe for work games featured in the lawsuit and my videos, like for instance bathroom simulators. Mind you, the community has been calling out these games for years now, but still, even after everything, instead of removing these blatantly inappropriate experiences, Roblox simply slapped a 17+ label on them. They also launched a ban wave against some of the worst games they've knowingly hosted for years, games that have led thousands of children to getting extorted and worse. Roblox's actions are nothing more than damage control for the problems they've allowed to fester, when the entire community was screaming at them to fix these problems. And the community saw that killing the messenger was an act of war. Shortly after these changes, Roblox released a video so bad that it was community noted on Twitter twice. David Baszucki, the CEO of Roblox, Matt Kaufman, the Chief Safety Officer of Roblox, and Eliza Jacobs, the Senior Director of Product Policy, did a 45-minute tech talk. Most of this is just corporate jumbo, but they go ahead and respond directly to their vigilante policy. Before I show this, I want you to remember, I'm the only person that Roblox has targeted with this vigilante policy that they just created. Not even my team was moderated or given any legal letter. I've begged for a clear line and even offered to keep much of my work private to help, and I'm no way obligated to do that, but instead they went straight after me, moderating my accounts and sending a cease and desist before I could even react to the policy. And let's be clear about one thing, I'm not a vigilante. That means I'm taking the law into my own hands. We work with law enforcement, which is why we have arrests. Roblox refuses to say my name because they'd have to acknowledge those arrests. But make no mistake, they're responding to the outrage, which is about me, and this is what they had to say about it. They first start off the interview by talking about how vigilantes started out as a good thing.
Both inside of Roblox, and I think that there are lots of people outside of Roblox who really have the best intentions and the welfare of our community at heart. We all want to keep Roblox safe. And you know what? We welcome them as part of the dialogue about how to keep Roblox safer. And we have members of the community in these vigilante groups that started off in a really good place. They started off by saying like, hey, they're reporting on issues on Roblox. They're talking about how we could do better. And you know, we paid really careful attention.
This statement is just laughably hilarious. If Roblox is really paying attention, then what about when my mom emailed you guys about my own case? What did you do then? Nothing. Actually, you kept paying the guy for years afterward until you were literally forced to do something about it. If what Roblox was claiming was actually true, them listening to the community, why are the biggest content creators leaving your exclusive YouTuber program in protest of how you're moderating your platform? And I'm gonna actually bring up something later in this interview to show you how much of a joke this is. This year is Meep City, one of the most controversial games on Roblox. Creecraft, one of the largest Roblox YouTubers, joined this game and within 4 seconds was exposed to not safe for work content. The community has been complaining about this game for almost a decade now, but Roblox has still continued to leave this game up and platform it. But CEO David Baszucki mentions this game by name, and here's their philosophy on it.
You know, I can see some of our community naming experiences on Roblox and just say, take it down, take it down, take it down. I'd say examples could be Meep City, for example. D-Share. Like, why should that be up? Should that be down? Like, what's up?
I think one thing that's really challenging on this global immersive interactive platform is that we have content created by developers and creators and content created by the community, by the users that are in that game. And one thing that we really try to do is be fair to our developers and to not moderate them for the behavior of their users.
How is this a crazy math problem? This is so simple. The creator of this game wants these people in their game. How is this even controversial? The developer is giving the tools to the player to make this inappropriate content. And that is the problem with Roblox. Roblox turns a blind eye unless the developers are blatantly making not safe for work games. And even then, it is still on the line if Roblox will take action. Roblox might have just went back on their word regarding Meep City. This game had every inappropriate feature removed from it pretty much overnight. It's unknown if Roblox made Alex Neutron, the creator of Meep City, do this, but either way, it shows the public pressure is working. Games that Roblox is doubling down on are folding, so that's why it's really important to keep speaking up about this.
Then we saw something change. What we saw is that some of these groups started engaging with the community in ways that violated our policies. And so let me explain what that means. They would go and create accounts on Roblox claiming to be a child.
Roblox keeps repeating this same talking point, that I'm impersonating and pretending to be a child. But here's the reality. You have to pretend to be a child because if the predators knew they were talking to an adult, that wouldn't even be a crime. You guys seem to be more upset that I'm pretending to be a child than predators are decoys. And if it wasn't our decoys, it would be a real person. It's also worth noting that the FBI, ICAC, and local law enforcement all use these same exact tactics. Would Roblox be willing to send them a cease and desist too? And their claim that I'm impersonating children is flat out false. Impersonation means I'm stealing the identity of a real child. From the very beginning, we've never used real kids. We don't send pictures of real children, and we create totally new identities where every single photo that's sent is of someone that is of age. The only difference is we tell these people that we are underage. This is flat out a lie, what they're claiming. But what happens next is so wild that the CEO of Roblox cuts off the chief safety officer.
And then they would enter into game servers and they would go and start asking everybody around them, how old are you? And they were seeking out adults. If you said that you were, move on. But if you said that you were 25, then they would start engaging in conversations, and they would try and use those conversations to simulate.
Matt, is this anecdotal? Because I know we have chat logs for all chat on Roblox and historical records. Are you able to kind of...
David totally derails that conversation. That statement is probably the most wild made by Matt Kaufman in this whole interview. To simulate what, Matt Kaufman? Because it's not simulation. These are predators thinking that they're talking to someone that is real. and they a lot of times want to show up in person and do stuff to them in real life. And in my opinion, this shows how little Roblox actually cares about this problem. They can say whatever they want, they can talk about all the new safety features that they're rolling out, but it means nothing if lawsuits are being filed every single week against the company and headlines are making the media about a new horrible situation happening because of this platform. I also want to say how they totally mischaracterize how I run my decoy operation. We are never the first to engage with any of the predators. They always contact our decoy account first.
So we saw these actors, they're pretending to be kids, they're trying to find adults, and then what they're doing is they're trying to move the conversation as quickly as possible to other platforms that don't have the type of monitoring and policies that Roblox has. And then they were using that activity that happened on other platforms to create situations that they would then video, they would report to the